Are you looking to understand the 2025 economic forecast better? Join us for our biannual fall economic webcast on November 14th and get the visibility you need to take action for the new year. Join us and Construct Connect, who will partner with the AGC and AIA to bring you insights from the industry's most trusted construction economists. This is a free online webcast and you can register today. The event is also registered with the AIA for continuing professional education credits. Register today at http://bit.ly/economic webcast. Again, that's http://bit.ly economic webcast, and that address will also be in the show notes. BuildX Alberta 2024 is coming to the new BMO Centre at Stampede Park in Calgary, Alberta. Celebrate BuildX's 25th anniversary in Alberta on October 23rd and 24th with the biggest conference in the province covering architecture, engineering, interior design, home building, and renovation and property management. Check out the speakers, education sessions, and a trade show floor featuring a workforce solutions center and a smart sustainable tech showcase. To register, go to informaconnect.com/buildx-alberta and click register now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Construction Record Podcast. I'm digital media editor Warren Frey, and with me today I have
Vicki Waldron. I'm the Executive Director of Construction Industry Rehab Lab.
And
Raj Khunkhun. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships at Community Savings Credit Union.
And the reason we're getting together today is because these two organizations have come together with a fund or a plan for people who are going through recovery or for injury, I think. Maybe you can straighten that out for me. First of all, what is the plan and what was the impetus for it in the first place?
I guess Raj and myself have worked together, well, certainly for as long as I've been here as well. We have a long history of working with Community Savings Credit Union. There's a lot of like-minded viewpoints within both our organisations, very much around community and supporting community. And so we got to talking about how some of the challenges we have is that one of the biggest barriers to people retaining or staying in treatment for mental health and substance use issues was finances, and the fact that often people can get themselves in quite a bit of a mess when we have these kind of issues going on. Mm-hmm. And so when they finally come in, they get some help. One of the first things they do is when they kind of look up and look around is notice that, wow, my life financially is a mess. And so then there is this, understandably, a huge pull to get back into work so that they can start tidying up, cleaning up the messes, the financial mess that they've got into. But of course, then from our perspective, we want people to stay in treatment for as long as possible to ensure longer term success. So they kind of conflicted. And there's, like I said, there's this huge pull to get back to work, which everyone understands. And so Raj and I were talking about this at one point, and I remember Raj going, "Oh, I didn't realise that," and so he went away, and then he came back and said, "Hey, listen, I think there's something we might be able to do to help you guys," and that's how this was born.
And just to clarify, it's called the Recovery Protection Program. Sorry, I didn't say it at the beginning. And so, Raj, could you kind of take your POV on this?
Sure. Yeah. So we pride ourselves on being a mental health financial institution. It's an issue that we feel we have ownership of in the credit union space. It's all started back early in the pandemic, where we funded the largest study into men's mental health at the workplace ever published in the world. We partnered with Heads Up guys and Dr. John Audernuk at UBC. And there were some really disturbing results coming out of the work that they did. 1 in 3 men thought of suicide at least once or twice a week. 42% have reported dangerous drinking patterns or alcohol disorder. And so that really showed us the link between mental health and substance abuse. And so we've done quite a bit of work in the mental health space. And then, like Vicki said, we have some people that we know in common. They thought we could collaborate. The construction industry rehab plan has been world recognized for the work they do, and just really understanding the effects on the individual workers through discussions with Vicki, we collaborated, came up with this plan as we see as a further evolution of us championing mental health of the workplace.
And, in a general sense, it's probably pretty obvious what your respective roles are, but maybe kind of to drill down into what each of you do with this program.
Maybe I can go first then. So we, as folk come into our program, we have lots of information around this, and we provide that to our members. If a member identifies that actually they would like to participate in this, we will then notify CSCU, Raj's team, and we'll let them know that we have a member that wants to participate. They then pick it up from there and qualify that person on the other end. Now, one thing I will say, and we've all been so impressed by, it is just how low barrier this is. If I'm really honest, Raj, I have to tell you, we thought there was going to be lots of hoops that someone would have to jump through. There'd have to be lots of qualifications, and oh, there's got to be this, that, and the other. And your team blew me away when we were talking about how we were going to set this up. They just went, yeah, that's fine. You tell us that they're engaged in CIRP. I think the term originally was actively engaged in CIRP, and so we went back and said, well, what does that mean, actively? And they literally just said, well, you tell us. If you're happy with them engaging, that works for us as well. So I couldn't be more delighted at just how low barrier this is. There's a real understanding that people that struggle with mental health and substance use issues are constantly faced with a barrage of barriers. And yeah, Raj's team and Raj, they really understood this, and they understood the assignment, as it was.
Thank you, Vicki. From our perspective, we think Vicki and the rehab plan, they really do the heavy lifting on this. Our job is not too difficult. What we did is we modeled our policy, which I'll give a little bit of a background on. Basically, what we do is once we get notification that one of our members is actively engaged in the program, as Vicki said, what we'll do is we'll postpone their loan or mortgage or any kind of payment they have with us, and waive all their banking fees for up to 3 months. Now, the reason we'd love to go longer, but there's after 3 months, if a loan payment has been made, there's then reporting required on our part on the person's credit bureau.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we'd love to go further, but there's certain limitations, regulatory limitations on that as well. And this policy was, we've had this policy for almost 20 years for any worker that is on strike or lockout. And so we already had quite a bit of history on this. We've got the data on this. We know how to run, and we know at similar when somebody's locked out or on strike, very stressful situation. Similar when somebody obviously is seeking treatment, we don't want to make it hard for them. We want to make it easy for them and make sure that they can focus on what's important.
And I guess my next question would be, who's eligible for this program? Or do you have to be part of the construction industry, or how wide a definition is that?
So right, we're piloting with the construction rehab plan. So it's anybody that seeks treatment from the plan that also is a member of ours.
Okay.
We see this as the first step. I'd love to be able to postpone somebody's mortgage payment somewhere else, but unfortunately we don't have that power. But a part of what we're trying to do also is advocate for other financial institutions to do the same. I mentioned the strike and lockup policy. We know another major financial institution has done that has a similar membership, and we're hoping that other financial institutions will jump on the same with this initiative as well.
And Vicki, this is probably more for you. It's what's sort of the global condition of people may not know just how bad injury and addiction is in the construction industry compared to other industries.
Yeah. As an industry, we do have a higher rate of injury than other industries. Depending on what data you look at, it can be reported as anywhere from 5 times to 7 times higher rates of injury. Really significantly different, but that is to be expected when we look at the industry and the types of work that our workers are doing. They're not sat behind desks. They're out there, and their bodies are their tools, right? They're using their bodies. So there is higher rates of injury, and specifically we know that within the trades there is a lot of chronic lower back injuries. Those are probably the most common types of injury that our workers will sustain.
And another thing that you guys have mentioned in press releases is this doesn't just cost the people in the treatment program, it also costs the industry itself in terms of people not being at work, et cetera, et cetera. But you guys know better than I do. You could explain how that works, the financial cost to the industry that you're kind of trying to alleviate.
And we know that the human cost is huge, it's significant, but we'd be remiss if we didn't actually talk about the financial impact of this as well. Our industry, has a significant role to play in BC's economy in general, and so we partnered with two professors from UBC and an agency called Prioritise Consulting. We worked with them to figure out and actually put a numerical value to this. And what we found was that every single year we are losing $847 million to the issue of mental health and substance use. And that's a combination of days lost and a combination of days lost and impaired while at work, and that can be impaired from being hungover, from being sick, from mental health and substance use issues. We also know that on average, this work translates to about 29 days in the previous 12 months for that have just been lost to this issue. So it's a significant impact. We know that. We actually went a step further, and we also looked at the impact of mental health and substance use on the industry, on the BC government as well. We've found that every single year we are losing $317 million in lost taxation due to this issue as well. And so this is annual. This is not a cumulative cost. This is not a cost for the last 5 years. This is every single year. So since we've done this research, we know that we're close to $1.6 billion lost. Next year it will be another 800 on top of that, so it'll be almost $2 billion lost, more than $2.4 billion lost to this issue. So it's a significant issue, and we need initiatives like this. We need innovative initiatives like this that can help to start making some kind of an impact on this.
And Raj, do you have anything to add to it? Because of, as you know, you're the financial perspective on this thing.
No, I think we nailed it pretty well. She's got the data and information to back it up, and we know anecdotally we see the same thing as well. Doesn't matter what type of workplace, and just really excited to pilot this initiative, and hopefully it does make a difference.
And I guess finally, I would ask, how long does the program go? What are the financial limits? And if somebody wants to enter the program, how do they go about doing that?
So in terms of the rehab, so in terms of the program itself, there's no limit. We haven't put an end to it. I mentioned our strike and lockout policy. We've been running that for 20 years. I don't think we'll put an end limit to this, to be honest with you. In terms of financial limits, I mentioned it's up to 3 months.
Right.
There's always going to be exceptions, right? We're going to work closely once we get the notification from Vicki's team. We're going to work closely with the member because every situation is unique. We're going to make sure that it works well with them. And another important factor is the construction industry rehab plan is going to be providing training to management at community savings, so they're well equipped to handle these discussions, because there's a stigma still surrounding a lot of this stuff. We really want to remove that stigma, so they're equipped to have the discussions to find solutions that work the best case for the member. And so currently the financial limits would be just the 3 months loan postponement. Again, we could be flexible depending on the situation, and that's really it, to be honest.
Yeah, you mentioned stigma. I mean, there's the double stigma of mental health or injury even can be stigmatic, and then money on top of that. So that's a lot to bear. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and just working with Vicki's team to make sure that our staff are well equipped to have those difficult discussions and make sure the person is comfortable bringing issues forward to them.
And I guess finally, I would ask if somebody wants to find out more information, which if they have something they're dealing with, they probably do. Where should they go to find out?
They could go, I believe, on our website. If you can search up the plan there as well. You can reach out to Vicki as well. Vicki's team is well trained up, ready to go. We have material right in the office there as well. Reach out to any of the parties, and we'll get you the help that you need.
And did you have anything else to add, Vicki?
No, I think Raj nailed it. It's really as simple as we can possibly kind of make it. Everybody's trained up. All they've got to do is call the CIRP number. I'll say that here, 604-521-8611. And they just call us, and from there we'll take it from there. So the staff are well equipped, well trained, so they'll know where to kind of direct that call and what to do next.
And we do have listeners that aren't in BC, so I should stress this is for BC workers.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, okay. Thanks for joining us today.
You're
Thank you so much,
welcome.
Warren.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Construction Record Podcast. You can hear us on Apple Music, Amazon, and Spotify, as well as at theconstructionrecord.libsyn.com and on the Daily Commercial News and Journal of Commerce websites. Thanks again for listening.